Hey, it's me again. It's time for a Bible lesson. And uh, I wondered if you knew that up until the 1300s, people did not have mirrors in their own homes or anywhere. So many people would go a whole lifetime without ever seeing their own faces. They didn't know what they looked like. I mean, imagine you didn't have a mirror in your home. Imagine you went to a meeting with important people and you didn't check in a mirror whether there were um, smudges on your face or your hair was okay. I mean, that would really be embarrassing, hey? I think we would struggle with that. But imagine that. Imagine not seeing yourself ever, not knowing what you look like. I think people sometimes still go through life without knowing what they look like. And uh, a modern day phenomenon is a thing that we call selfies. Are you a selfie taker? Are you skilled at taking selfies? I hope you are, because I'm not. I mean, I really tried to take a selfie, and this is the best I could come up with. The best selfie I could get was this after trying many, many times. And maybe you could show me how, or uh, provide some training, but I don't think I'm really good at taking selfies. It is, however, a craze in recent years. People are crazy about taking selfies. The fact is, it's not modern. It started in 1839 and was quite a process, but the first selfie was taken in 1839. By the year 2013, the word selfie had become more commonplace. And it was actually being considered for inclusion in the Oxford English Dictionary. At the end of that year, it was word of the year. Uh, Everyone was using it. Everyone was doing it. Everyone had a cell phone. These celebrities in 2014 took this photo at the Oscars. And imagine that. Within 40 minutes of posting it, 1.8 million retweets happened. It's a really famous picture. Do you know these guys? I know some of them. I don't know all of them. Some of them are complete strangers. Uh, I hope you know at least some of them because they think they're really famous. This couple took a selfie on their wedding day. I don't know if you know them, but maybe they didn't have enough money to hire a photographer, but they got in with the craze and took a selfie on there. This guy is a really famous church leader, and people love taking selfies with him. So at least the young people are actually doing it. He doesn't have to actually take the selfie, otherwise, it might look like mine. Um, at Nelson Mandela's memorial service, these international leaders gathered to pay tribute to a great man, and they were really excited about being together and about how big an occasion it was. And as you can see, they were taking selfies. You have to make sure you don't exclude somebody when you're taking selfies. Michelle does not look very happy here. And I don't know if it's connected, but in this photo, it does look connected, doesn't it? Don't exclude people when you take selfies. You might get a face like that right next to you. Selfies are popular, but what does the Bible say about selfies? Do you think the Bible says anything about selfies? Well, here's the first statement the Bible makes about selfies. Jesus is God's selfie. Did you know that? It's kind of what we said in our previous lesson. When you want to know who God is, you look to Jesus. Jesus is God. Colossians 1 verse 15 in the Message translation says it like this. We look at this Son, Jesus, and see the God who cannot be seen. We look at his Son and see God's original purpose in everything created. Jesus is God. But there's another thing that the Bible says about a selfie. And here's the next statement that the Bible makes about selfies. Jesus wants to be your selfie. Jesus wants to be your selfie. When people look at Jesus, they should see you. And when people look at you, they should see Jesus. Jesus wants to be your. Galatians 2 verse 20 says this. I identified myself completely with him. Indeed, I have been crucified with Christ. My ego is no longer central. My ego is no longer central. It is no longer important that I appear righteous before you or have your good opinion. And I am no longer driven to impress God. When you identify with Jesus in such a way that he becomes part of your identity, that he becomes the whole of your identity, other people's opinions doesn't matter anymore. And you get to a place where you're not trying to impress them. You get to a place where you are so secure in this identity that Jesus is giving you that you don't even try to impress God anymore. You don't have to, because you know who you are. You are immersed in Jesus. He becomes your identity. Christ lives in me. The life you see me living is not mine, but it is lived by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. This is who I am. I am loved by Jesus. I'm loved by him so much that he gave his life for me. This is the center of my identity. This is who I am. I am somebody loved by Jesus. I am somebody who Jesus gave his life for. That's my identity. What people think just doesn't matter as much. If that is true, what else? Jesus speaks to his disciples and he says, if any of you wants to be my follower, you must turn from your selfish ways, take up your cross and follow me. If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it. You need to save your life. And you save your life by immersing your life in Jesus, identifying with him, giving up who you are for his sake, and becoming somebody loved by him for whom he sacrificed his life. And that is true of you. Nothing. Doesn't matter what people think. Doesn't matter who people think you are. Matters that Jesus gave his life for you. Matters that he cares so much. That's your identity. Immerse yourself in Jesus. Follow him. Surrender to him. And life starts to make sense. I hope you enjoyed this. And there'll be some training in how to take a selfie. And I want to encourage you to send me a selfie of you and your family. There's contact details on the screen. And if you're able to, please make contact. Please tell me what I can pray for. And please tell me what's happening in your life. I am best connected to you when I'm praying for you, and I'd like to know what you pray for. Grab a hold of Jesus. It's all that really matters. Make him your identity, and life will make sense in a way that it's never made sense before. Have a great day, and I hope to hear from you.